Kevin, thank you so much for joining us here. Want to get to know you a little bit about the MEBO Group. Can you tell me a little about the company, how long you've been there?
The company was based on specializing technology regarding to regeneration.
And when you're talking about regeneration, what do you mean? Can you explain?
Regeneration means the ability for human to self-regenerate their damaged body part, but also replace their diseased one. For us, we've been working on this for 3 decades. The company itself was founded by my father, and he was a burn doctor, and he passed away in 2015. So I'd be able to actually take on the pilot seat and run the companies, but continue his missions and try to achieve his dream.
So that's a big responsibility, and you're taking over the mission. Can you explain what the mission is?
The mission was, first of all, have to put the value of life as the ultimate value on the pyramid. And what we're trying to do here is everything we achieve here, want to make sure that we put people first. We put life first.
Can you walk me through how you're applying this technology out in the field?
In China, we've been in the medical field for 30 years, and what we do is basically we have our technologies that we have to train the doctor. The doctor have to learn how to grasp the innate ability for human to self-regenerate and apply it for them when they receive, for example, burn trauma, external damages.
So there's doctors all over China, I would imagine, and you're educating them on this, on your technology. And is it just for burn victims? Is it for anyone who's wounded? Can you sort of elaborate on that?
It's actually for example, burn victim and people who actually have severe damage on the external. And the technology itself was actually promoted by the Ministry of Health in China back in 1980s. So actually currently we have about more than 100,000 doctors that be able to actually learn the technology itself and be able to do their own practice.
And is there some sort of injection or medication that's involved that helps facilitate that sort of healing process within the body?
No, there's no injection needed. So therefore the entire process itself is more like you apply the kind of like ointment-based environment that contains certain, for example, nutrient and substance, then you just wait for the body to self-regenerate. But in the meanwhile, you have to watch out closely for the change on the wound.
Right.
So make sure that in different time stage or the period or the windows, you have to make certain decision and action to make sure by the end you actually have the full regeneration process ongoing.
You're in the healthcare industry. How do you sort of explain what the social responsibility is of your company? Especially, I think a lot of healthcare companies have that balance between profits and treatments.
For us as a companies, we actually build by a mission. So our mission was actually, as I mentioned before, we put life first. So everything we do here, we consider life as the most important and ultimate value in the system. So therefore, by setting the life as the ultimate value as our missions, we be able to turn that into a company culture that we be able to pass on as a heritage from generation to generation.
Do you feel that the younger generation is more accepting of those sort of values? I feel like a lot of times the younger generation is right now pushing companies to sort of have this social responsibility.
Yeah, I think what I see here is actually the young generation people, they're more optimistic on their future, but also they have a bigger dream because they have nowadays, because of the evolution of the informatic systems, that people actually be able to receive multiple information from all different sources. So now they actually have a much more open vision. So because of that, they be able to actually, I would say, enlarging their scope of the vision. So therefore, all the idea that came out, they want to make the world-changing ideas.
Can you walk me through any time where there's a conflict of interest between the profits and as far as the social good in the mission?
No matter how big the business is, the business have to play important roles to maintain a healthy ecosystem. For example, in the medical field, in the health field, or in the pharmaceutical field. When I mean that, it means like you have to maintain a healthy relationship with all the other business, new business, old business, competitors, even the new investor, etc. Because every time when there's a new topic that came out, people have to collaborate. Yeah. The conversation have to be started, and knowledge have to be exchanged by people. So therefore, you'll be able to actually see the whole picture. Otherwise, you'll be self-isolated on an island without knowing what's going to happen in the outside world.